You're going to hear from lead teachers all throughout the day, but I'm very happy to say that we're actually going to hear from two of our students. Please welcome to the stage, Thorsten Meister.
Thank you for that, John. It was very nice of you. You better listen to what he said, because if you don't, then I'll know. There better be like an extra 30 subscribers on there. Seriously. Okay. Anyways. What? Wait. Okay. Like that? Okay. Nervous. Okay. Hello, my name is Thorsten Meister. My middle name is August, but that doesn't really matter as much, because middle names don't really matter as much. No. I'm a senior here at Fusion Academy, as you could have guessed. I think everyone here is a senior. So, in case you forgot that these are all seniors, I'm also a senior, and we're all seniors. So, there was a moment in my math class a couple of weeks ago where I was just like really into this test. And I was doing so well, and I was like, at the same time thinking of like an amazing graduation speech. Like it was like really good. I was like, I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna be like Jordan Belfort, I'm gonna like say all these things, and like I'm gonna go out there and like it's gonna be so great, and then I just forgot all of it. And so, you're gonna have to put up with this speech now. So, yeah. I want to talk about Fusion now. I can't begin to say how thankful I am for my 4 years here, starting October in 2020. And I also cannot begin to say how thankful I am for the teachers, who all have lives of their own. They have children, they have side jobs, side businesses, a bunch of things that they do, and they still are able to come into class every single day and be their best. Because I know that there are so many times where I've come into class and I have not been able to be my best. Or I've been 30 minutes late, or 40 minutes late, or I just missed the class entirely, but teachers never did that. And they were there 100% for me the entire way through, and it's honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing to see. Can we get a round of applause for all the teachers? I always felt as though my teachers were my friends. I feel like that's something that you don't find too often in a lot of schools. I'm thinking back to middle school. Mrs. Hanley was definitely not my friend. So was Mrs. Patton. I mean, I liked her. I think she liked me too, but she was not my friend either. Everybody at Fusion has been there for me in a friend type of way. I mean, I think most notably, like Jeremy Caller, who was there for my first 2 years. I felt like I could talk to him like he was my friend, and it was crazy. Like, he wasn't even my teacher at all. It was like, it was like I had one of my classmates teaching me, except they could actually teach. You guys cannot teach. And so all the other teachers, I can name you right now, but that'd take way too long. But, they were all amazing. One of the very interesting things about Fusion is its underrated ability to prepare you for the world, and not just what it teaches you, but socially. I think that one of the most amazing things is that you're able to communicate and work with adults for the entire semester, the entire year, and that's something you never get at a normal high school. You work with others, obviously, in a group, but never like adults. And you need to work with adults in the future. You're not going to be working with your friends the entire time. You work with people who are, professional. And that's what this was. And I think that socially I have come so far in being able to do that, and my one-on-one skills and abilities have been drastically improved, and that's something I'm very, very grateful for. The virtual program that came with Fusion was also extremely important to me. As in the first year of high school, there was COVID-19. I don't know if you guys remember that. It's pretty big deal. But that was really handy because Seton Hall Prep did not have a good virtual program, and I was able to quickly transfer into Fusion, and they were able to give a really, really good virtual teaching session multiple times throughout the day. And I'm really thankful for that. And I feel like that's something that is really, really, really special about Fusion. It's that you don't need to be at the school in order to learn. The Zoom classes are amazing, and the teachers are able to switch between them like it's nothing real life to Zoom, and that's something that I'm really thankful for. However, I wouldn't say that the virtual program was my favorite. Obviously it was nice to be able to learn, but not being able to be in school with your friends and with people you know is something that can be detrimental to most people, I would say. I feel like a lot of depression comes from not being able to interact with people because humans are social creatures. And those first 2 years of Fusion were quite depressing for me. I think back, I wouldn't live those times again. Obviously there have been worse situations in the world, but I feel like those times were definitely tough. And I look back on it a lot. Since my last year of Fusion was really good, since I made friends and I was able to socialize a lot, I look back and think to myself, well, those first 3 years of high school, were they worth it, Like, I feel like I missed out sometimes, like on all the shenanigans people do in high school, which you carry with you for the rest of your life. You poop in the urinal or something, remember that forever, I'll be 40, I'll be like, oh, remember when I pooped in the urinal? That was fun, and then nobody caught me, because I didn't DNA sample and poop, should have done, but didn't happen. And I often feel like my life would have been very, very different if I had had those first 3 years in person. But I feel like it would have been in a negative way. And I can say that in middle school, I was very, very, I feel like I was unconscious. Because I had friends, but I never wanted to do anything with them. I would sit at home all day. I wouldn't leave the house. I would play World of Warcraft all day. And they would ask me to come do things, and I'd be like, no, honestly, I don't. I don't want to do things with you. And I don't really know why it'd be like that, but I wouldn't communicate with them. I feel like just in general, all of middle school was sort of like in a comatose state, just like going to school, going home, going to school, going home. And I feel like if I'd continued in high school without COVID and without the whole virtual experience, it would have been the same. And I would have been at the end of high school and being like, oh, so it was what it was, I did what I did and that's it. But in life, sometimes you lead. Sometimes you need a little bit of negative to help bring out the positive. And those first 3 years where I didn't have very many friends at all, and I wasn't socializing with people, I truly realized what it was like to be alone. And I truly realized what it was like to not be normal, And when you have that realization, you have that end of the spectrum with you, you realize how important it is to have people in your life. And you realize how important it is just to, do stuff, and be with your friends and say, yeah, I'm going to go do that. I'm not going to stay inside. I'm not going to play video games. I'm going to go out and I'm going to be there for you. And you can talk to me and I can listen to you and I can talk to you and you can listen. And when you have nothing, you finally realize when you do have everything. And I feel like I was able to make it back to having everything. And that's something that I'll forever be grateful for. And throughout all of college, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, graduate school, whatever I do, I'll realize what it was like to have nothing. And so when I'm at that point in my life, I'll feel 8,000 times as grateful for everything that I have. And it was because of that negative experience that I'm able to see that. Every little painting, every beautiful piece of art needs a concentration of black and a concentration of white, at least at some point in the painting, and that's what makes it beautiful, because they bring out each other, and and I was able to make it out, and that's something that I'll forever hold with me. And if I'm ever in a dark moment again in my life, I'll just realize that it's all about perspective, and perspective costs nothing to have, but it means everything. Perspective is the ability to change how you feel about something because you realize the good that it brought you and not the negative that it brought you. And you do realize that the negative things that it might have brought you were actually very, very good for you. And while you can't say this for everything in life, I will have bigger regrets in my future, I'm sure, because later in life is when all the terrible things happen. So I can't say, oh God, like, this horrible thing happened, or like I got divorced, like, oh, well, I can see like the good side of that or something, you know, like, nobody likes that, nobody likes getting divorced, you know, it sucks. You know, and just future family events, like if I lose my leg, like, oh my God, I can see the good side of losing my leg. Like, no, there's no good side of losing your leg. Like, you know, like, but I can say that I'm proud of having the perspective that I have for my high school years. And I will do my best in my future to maintain a positive perspective always. And if you don't have a positive perspective, like, you should get one. Like, it really does. It's amazing. I love the school. It's great. And I'm so glad that I did everything I did here, and I will always be for the rest of my life. All right, thank you, everybody.